Hello. Hi. Hi guys. Oh. Uh-oh. So, okay. I am noticing that the chat is not showing on the game scene, which is very strange. Also, welcome to stream, Kamsoga. This is very strange. I might have to look at this. Okay. I'm gonna have to adjust this really quick. I don't know why it's not showing. Hmm. Okay, but actually, besides that, welcome to Rod and Angel. This is a game by Sylvan, and it's a visual novel that one of the games they made. I think this is the recent one, and actually, funny enough, I've actually played their games before. So, this is not the first time I've actually played from their games. I actually really like their games, especially Sweetest Valentine. This is like Sweetest Valentine is like the it's it's one of the like few first yandere indie visual novels that I've actually played. Also, wait, actually, is text there? I'm noticing text over here. Hold on. I am so sorry that I'm kind of like all over the place. I see text. I don't know if that's chat. Um, technical difficulties. Oh, okay. Oh, it's there. It is there. That's so strange. It's because it's too light. Okay. Hmm. I'm debating if I should blend it right now or like later because the screen might change. Let me see if I can change it now. I'll change it now, but if like if the if like the background changes to like a darker background, I might have to add it back. So let's see this. Let's see if this works. That's worse. Oh god. Let's do normal. Let's do normal for now, and I'll change it back to add once it is like it's a better. We have like a better dark background because I don't want it to be like change. But yeah, yeah. Actually, I'm so sorry. I didn't get to see the. I didn't get to look at that manga series you talked about yet, but I saw pictures of it. But yeah, there. Before we start this game, there are some warnings that are a part of this game that I should mention. Um, there is unreciprocated incest and imprisonment of incarceration, and then some other things. Spoilers. Well, not spoilers, but just trigger warnings. There is some blood and gore, murder and attempted murder, child abuse, cheating, and emotional manipulation. So if that is something you guys do not like or not interested in, this game is most likely not going to be for you. So let's get started then. Okay. Alright, that's immediately change the background. Let's see. Is it working? I might have to click it. Oh, what the heck? Oh. Okay, I think it's, yeah, no, I think it's working. Alright, that's us. This is you. Tell us who you are. Okay. What should I put? Word, probably. Unheard of. Back to back, yeah. I think I've played so many Yandere games that I've kind of been desensitized to a lot of stuff that is just like bad stuff that happens in the tomes. And how would you prefer to refer to yourself? That's a she her. So your name is Bert and your pronouns are she her, is that right? Yeah. Pain shoots across your stomach. It has been an excruciating few hours for you and the day had only started. You practically had emptied you and your insides to the point that they felt hollow. Light. You got food poisoning, you thought. However, you weren't exactly too alarmed. This wasn't your first rodeo, and it usually went away quickly after a few hours for you. As for what caused it, you have two guesses. As for what caused it, oh, it was either the toast you just ate or the dinner you had during Halloween night. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, another thing. This was actually made for Spooktober, the Spooktober Jam. I think last year. So it was pretty recent. I have my own stream to get rid of. Oh, yo, okay. Thanks for joining, by the way, though, even if it was short. Hopefully your stream goes well, though. However, you didn't exactly want to tell your boyfriend and his twin brother, Evangel and Angel, that your cooking might be the cause of it. The three of you haven't spent much time together lately. It was such a fun dinner you didn't want to ruin the mood. That and Evan just left for work. You'd rather deal with this on your own rather than disturb him. Maybe if it got too much, you'd finally go to the hospital and let them know. You came to regret the decision, though. Morning turned to evening and the pain only doubled. By the time it got worse, you were already on the floor, crawling and dragging yourself desperate for survival. Your vision gradually darkened. The pain slowly went away. But so did your life. Just like that, you died. Oh. Already? That evening, Evangel, nicknamed Evan, went back to his apartment after a hard day at work. An alarming sight stopped him dead in his tracks. It was your body, laid sprawled on the ground. Your phone was seen near you, and your eyes only gazed downwards without any focus. Your body was limp and unmoving. Evan? What's wrong? A voice called out from behind him, followed by a noise of a closing door. It was Angel, his younger flesh and blood. His question carried both curiosity and concern in it, though it clearly wasn't enough to grab his brother's attention. Angel was about to call it again when he himself finally saw the body. The brothers gaped at the chilling scene before them, both equally as frozen as the corpse laying on the floor. It was as if time stopped for a moment. You... The guy to the left looks like... What is his name? The guy from Mystic Messenger with the white hair. I forgot his name, though. Yeah, I just remember that guy was a narcissist and I didn't like him. But he looks like a Mystic Messenger character. The first to break the stillness was Evan. He rushed to his girlfriend immediately, checking her neck for a pulse and your nose for any sign of breathing. When he found none, he was quick to perform CPR on you as a Hail Mary passed. While Evan seemed to be able to control his emotions well, his twin's reaction was far from it. His breath quickened and his skin turned deathly pale. In an effort to calm himself, he gripped his own shirt and approached them. Bert, can you hear me? Evan's eye twitched at Angel's useless question and wasteful action, an expression that completely went over Angel. Evan couldn't afford to call him out in though. He continued to try his best to save your life, to no avail. His efforts did nothing. It was only after a few minutes passed that he realized this and finally pulled away. Angel could only hold his breath when he saw his older brother give up. He didn't dare say anything, instead waiting for Evan to break the silence once more. She's gone. Khan isn't dead? What else? No way! Without giving any response nor consolation to his panicking brother, Evan walked off to the nearest wall and leaned his back on it. His lips formed a thin line as his eyebrows knitted together. And it was a reaction that once again contrasted his twin. It began to approach you and held your cheek, lightly tapping it, a gesture indicating that he didn't quite believe that you were already gone. A pair of eyes teared up, while another pair gazed to the ground. While a sob began to break out from Angel, Evan could only sigh, with the slightest hint of quiver. Wait, okay. I'm assuming Angel Angel was our boyfriend, right? Angel's our boyfriend. And you looked at this because I saw it for a moment who her boyfriend is, but I didn't catch it. Wheeling Evan. Wait, we're Evan's boyfriend. Oh, Evan. If Evan's our boyfriend, he's acting a lot colder than usual than I thought. Okay. Oop. Okay. We were just hanging out and we watching movies yesterday. And I promised that we'd hang out more often. Oh God, I'm sorry, Bert. I'm so. Angel, will you shut up for a second? Huh? I'm trying to think. With eyes wide and jaws slacked, Angel stared at Evan. His lips open, yet closed again wordlessly. The motion repeated twice before Angel meekly gave up and went silent instead. Minutes passed by. Angel grew even more nervous as the passage of time dragged on. Every time he glanced at Evan, he was thinking deeply and was letting none of his thoughts escape from his throat. Evan's gaze shifted back and forth, from your body to Angel multiple times. Wait here and don't move. Okay. Angel only watched as Evan walked away towards the kitchen. Not long after, he heard rummaging from the kitchen. Cabinets were open, jars removed. It was at least obvious enough that Evan was looking for something as quickly as he could. But what? Angel could only speculate. Both curiosity and anxiety ate up Angel, yet he didn't dare move. The uncertainty and the mystery of what his brother could be thinking was agonizing to Angel, terrifying even. He hadn't had the slightest clue of what his older brother could do next. Eventually, Evan walked back to where Angel and you were. His dissatisfied look made it clear that he didn't find what he was looking for. Being his usual spineless self, Angel didn't dare ask about it. Though at least he was brave enough to suggest an idea instead. Hey, we should call for paramedics or something, right? We need to report it and, we don't even know what happened to her, so... I'll call them, okay? Stop. Angel, who was about to reach out to his phone at the point, froze. Let's not do that just yet. Huh? His words caught Angel off guard, but Evan didn't care. He continued on in a quieter voice. I have a pretty big suitcase in our bedroom. Grab that and put Bert inside. What? What are you doing? Why are you burying my body? A beat. Angel stared at Evan blankly. Eventually, Angel stuttered. Sorry, but put her inside the suitcase? His question responded with a curt nod from Evan. I'll have the car ready. Bring Bert's body down with you and come with me when you're done. Evan, are you sure? I mean, she's your girlfriend, isn't she? And where are we even going anyway? To our old house. Why? Evan glared frostily at Angel, causing the latter to flinch. Angel was ready to be scolded, but Evan's scathing words never came. Instead, Evan just walked off. Dude, did you kill me? Did our boyfriend kill me? This is the impression I'm getting. That he knew this was gonna happen. That we were gonna die. Just get to it before you regret it. At that threat, Angel lowered his head, yet his body moved accordingly, following his brother's orders. To say that he was confused was a huge understatement, seeing that Evan also left to get the car as planned. As Evan walked away from the room, Angel could only stare. Angel knew his brother more than anyone. That was what he thought. He knew that Evan was bad at expressing himself, but he also knew that his brother was mostly intentioned and nice. Did he truly know him after all? Or did Evan know something Angel didn't? Meanwhile, as Evan was preparing his car, countless thoughts also filled his head. Too many of him to process them properly one by one, Fortunately for him, he was able to refocus his attention once he started up the car, clearing his head as his hands were on the cold steering wheel. As Evan half-breathed before Angel came downstairs, I'm noticing that for some reason the chat has like a bar on the game and it's blocking the text. I am not sure how I can get rid of this though. Let me see if I can do anything. Nope, I can't hide that bar. Yeah, sorry, sorry for like anyone who's watching the VOD. I'm sorry, I can't like move the bar. Actually, let's see if I can maybe move the text here for now. But that bar here on the right side, I can't get rid of it. Is it control? No. I know there's a way I can like make this smaller. No, I can't get rid of that gift subscription thing. Ugh. I don't like it though there. Oh. Okay, this is just gonna be stuck there. Oh god, this is weird to have. I'm just moving this down here because I don't want the text from the chat to block the text of the game. Because I've been noticing on the the stream that it's hard to see the text. So I'll just put it here for a while. Amidst of heavy fog in the dimly lit street, Angel put the luggage inside the car trunk before taking a seat in the front beside Evan. With that, they took off. Okay, now I might have to move it up. The texts are gonna be on the bottom. There we go. Oh no, the texts are still there. Okay. The car ride was quiet at first. The silence was far from comfortable. It was as if the two were waiting for the other brother to say something first. It was only the matter of who was brave enough to do so. Between them, Evan had always been the quicker one to take initiatives, and this wasn't an exception. Angel. Yeah? What do you think about happening to Bert? I'm not sure. That's why I offered to call for help. Maybe we'll find out if... I don't care, just tell me what do you think happened. Okay. Angel chewed on the insides of Sophie's mouth, thinking of what to say. Can you actually see the text here? Oh. Okay. Maybe I should move it to the right? No. Okay, no, this is the best spot I can move it. No, that's fine. Eventually, the younger man spoke. Maybe it was a heart attack or something like that? With his eyes still glued on the road, Evan only let out a small hum. The minuscule reaction word Angel, so he continued on. It was so sudden, so... I'm trying to think of any health conditions that could cause that. Evan, do you know if Bird has told you about any of that? Evan looked back and pondered, and his memory recalled that. You have not talked to him about this. You told him that you do have some health complications in the past. You told him that you seem to be healthy, but your family has a history of health complications in the past. You told him that you're pretty much healthy, so does your family. Okay, so this is our first choice. We're healthy. Evan recalled the conversation you two had it. Oof, okay. Back. You and your family were always known to be healthy, really healthy and fit. When you were sick, you always recovered really quickly. You've notified Evan about it. In return, Evan told you that his family had a history of hypertension. Oh. Afterwards, in his usual indifferent tone, he let you know that he was glad that you were fit as a fiddle and hoped it stayed that way. As he recalled this, he gazed straight on the road, his expression unchanging. Then told Angel about what he learned. I see. Well, now we know that it's unlikely that she died of an illness, but the possibility is still there. That, or it was related to food. Angel stared at Evan. I'm not going to lie, food poisoning did cross my mind too, but I chalked it off because we're still fine. Evan narrowed his eyes at Angel, but he shifted his gaze at the road once again as he asked the question. And how about the mushrooms you used as ingredients? Have you double-checked that they were edible? It was only when Evan questioned Angel's specialty that Angel began to respond with more assertion. Evan, I know my mushrooms. You also know well that my roommate and I only grow edible ones. Wait, that's kind of weird that they're pointing out if the mushrooms were edible or not. Like, I feel like that's not a question you would specifically ask if you're like growing something. If somebody asks you that, like, if like between them, like the way they're asking, like, oh, if were the mushrooms like something that you can eat, is hinting that they were growing something poisonous. That's like what I'm getting from this, because that's just a strange question to ask. This wasn't the first time I offered Bert the mushrooms that I used for the Halloween dinner either. Cause like, also, if it was like finding mushrooms, like if they were scavenging for mushrooms, I would be like, okay, yeah, it would make sense to ask that specific question if those mushrooms were edible. But like for growing, like it should be like, of course they're edible. Like why would I grow poisonous mushrooms unless like they were growing something poisonous? Evan's questionable reaction shrunk Angel back into his shell. He quickly added, Evan, I really don't think we can just speculate about Bert's cause of death since it's not our forte. That's why I said to call paramedics or go to the hospital or, well, go there after we visit our old house. The car fell into silence once again. They only if you hear the sound of other vehicles passing by, each going about their daily lives and unaware of the fact that your body laid in their trunk, nor the turmoil the brothers were currently going through. Angel was biting his own lips and played with the seams on his sleeve. Finding his own uneasiness to be unbearable, Angel finally decided to voice one glaring question out to Evan. Hey, Evan? You never answered my question before. Which one? Why are we visiting our old house? What's left of that abandoned shack anyway? What are you even planning? There might be nothing much there anymore, but I've always wanted to bring Bert there. I've made a promise to her. In what way? Evan's tone shifted, becoming more expressive than it usually was. Angel also noticed his brother's index finger tapping on the steering wheel. The behavior made Angel tilt his head curiously. You did? You wanted to show her the house where Dad used to yell and hit us? Yeah. Really? Despite that, it was still the place where we were born and raised. The more Evan responded, the more perplexed Angel became. He couldn't fathom what drove his brother to be saying all this. Let me move this here. A small laugh of disbelief escaped Angel's lips as he stared at Evan. That's what I said, but back then, no? And I remember you dismissing it, saying that we're better off forgetting that good-for-nothing house in the middle of nowhere. Angel, you know that I'm driving right now, don't you? Yeah? If you don't want me to ram this car into the truck over there, you need to stop questioning me, you got it? Okay! Okay, calm down! Angel could not argue with that, not only because he wanted to live, but also because Evan clearly didn't want to explain himself. The only thing that he could do was slowly nod in response. However, Angel did decide to change the subject. I still can't believe that she's gone now. Angel began to reminisce about the days you and Evan were together. He remembered those days to be happy. You truly loved Evan despite his awkwardness. Bittersweet. You initially loved Evan, but the love soon died out. Oh, do we want to be tragic? Do I want to be tragic? Let's be tragic. I'll be tragic. I've always thought that she was really nice. I remember the first time you introduced her to me during the summer 2 years ago. How happy you two looked. Your smile that day was the brightest it had ever been. I think... Well, I noticed that you two slowly drifted away. Despite that, I know you still cherish Bert, since you let her stay in your apartment and all. And now, Bert is... Angel's voice slowly went quieter. He was muttering when he said his next few words. Dead. It's still so surreal to think about. When Angel took a brief look at Evan, he saw his brother looking as if he'd murder him right on the spot if he had said another word. Alarmed by this, Angel decided to end his musings early. My point is, I just want to say that you can't talk to me about it, that's all. I know Bird meant a lot to you, so you know. What? You of all people would know that she meant a lot to me. Angel only nodded slowly, not knowing where Evan was going with this. So it surprised me that you've been trying to steal her away from me, Angel. What? With his stomach beginning to lurch, Angel slowly turned his head towards Evan. Two pairs of eyes met for a brief moment before Evan redirected his vision back to the road. Angel's surprised gaze, however, was locked in at Evan's side profile. What do you mean? Don't play dumb. I know you've been meeting alone with Bert every chance you got. Angel only gaped after hearing Evan's words. On the other hand, Evan scoffed that he's kept on going. You think I have no idea? You've been trying to get close to her behind you, my back, haven't you? Me? Evan, are you serious? Evan squinted at his younger brother's pathetic response. He recalled that you've told him how uncomfortable you were with how much Angel was trying to approach you. He happened to see both you and Angel leaving the hotel. Oh! Oh. I'll go with the first one. Back then, you were indeed approached by Angel behind Evan's back. Okay. Time to move this down. It seemed friendly enough at first. Eventually, he surprisingly began to act much bolder. A pat on the shoulder, hand-holding, and a hug at one point. He never went beyond that, though he was certainly very touchy. Not only that, he also began to show his concerns to you, basically telling you that Evan was never a good boyfriend. Something about how much Evan never treated his previous partners right, and then you deserved so much better. Angel's words and actions were sweet and alluring, but you believed in Evan more than him. So, you told Evan about this just a few days ago, before the Halloween dinner. Bert told me all about it, Angel. Not only did you approach her, you also spread lies about me to her. What? You told her that I was cold, demanding, and abusive towards my exes. I don't remember that being true. That's absurd. I never did any of that. You agree that Bert is not the type who would slander you, right? Yeah. If she wasn't lying, then what was that? I don't know. Maybe there's a misunderstanding between us. Then tell me what you told Bert back then. I just told him that you might be cold sometimes, but I tried to assure her that you meant well. That's all. Really, I swear that's what I told her. Anything else was maybe she just mistook my friendliness for something else? Sorry, I don't know for sure. Evan, you know, I only want the best for you. With all those things that happened to us, all I want is to just see you be happy to live. I wouldn't want to ruin it for you, but just please believe me. Evan only stared at the never-ending road in front of him. He looked like he wanted to say something. However, he ultimately dropped the topic. They were on the road at midnight, and Evan didn't want to be the cause of the demise. The two didn't talk for the rest of the ride. Both brothers were keeping their thoughts to themselves. Although, whatever it was the two were thinking about, it was abruptly interrupted by them noticing flashing lights behind them. It's a police car. Huh? We're being asked to pull over. I know, but what about Bert? Angel nervously glanced behind. By looking back and forth between the trunk and the police car, the fact that his brother was able to stay calm, but all of this was impressive to him, to be honest. As Evan was slowly and carefully pulling over to the side of the road, he told Angel this. They wouldn't do anything so long as you were not acting suspicious. That's why. Angel, you go talk to them. Oh. Dude, you're... No, are you making your brother get arrested? You know how, like, nervous he is, right? Like, from what I'm seeing. Angel did not complain. Not that they had the time to. Once an officer came over to their car, Evan rolled the side of the window to let the officer have a look inside. As the man in uniform peered in, he saw the twin brothers. One was looking at him with indifference, while another smiled politely at him. Good evening, sir. What can we help you with? As far as if we're simply having pleasant ride out, with how casual Angel was acting. Evening, sirs. We just wanted to check in with you to make sure everything's all good here. There have been a few cases of people drunk driving, but lately, and we just want to be safe. Hope you don't mind. Of course, we understand the concern. Great, thanks for understanding. Show us your driver's license, registration, and proof of insurance, please. Here. Evan handed the documents needed as swiftly as he could. The cop took a brief look at it before nodding and pulling a small device breathalyzer. Evan was told to breathe on it, and test came out negative. Right, you two are good to go. Thank you so much. Have a good night, sir. Finding Angel adds to Angel's attitude to be very pleasant, the officer reciprocated his friendliness back at him. You too, have a safe trip and take a break if you're getting sleepy on the road. The fog is also heavy, so drive carefully, yeah? We will. Take care of yourself as well, officer. After a nod from the cop, the two watched as the police car parking behind them began to embark. Once Evan rolled the window up, the two collectively let out a sigh that they've been holding it in for a while. I was so nervous. Really? No, I couldn't tell. Okay, I guess he's really good at acting then. It's a good thing you and that officer both couldn't. When Angel looked up, he saw Evan staring at him with narrowed eyes. What? He didn't answer. Instead, he stared at the car once again before he held steering wheel, preparing for the road. Nothing. The rest of the ride was quiet, uncomfortably so. An hour. This is gonna be a good amount of the stream. Me moving my chat. Okay, also I'm increasing the volume a little bit higher. An hour after midnight, they finally reached their old house. It was tucked away in the middle of nowhere, near an untouched forest, while being far from civilization. The last time these two had seen the house was when they were around 10. It was when they brought away by Child Protection Services after someone had reported on their parents. Back then, the house was already somewhat worn, as nobody had the time to keep the house in its prime state. Now, as the two stood in front of it, the house was much dingier. Overgrown plants covered its brittle walls. Some had even managed to find its way and took residence in the house. With a suitcase beside him, Evan stared at the house they used to live in. Countless thoughts buzzed his head. Evan tried muting all of them by shaking his head and redirected his focus on Angel. When Evan took a look at Angel, he saw him staring blankly at a cluster of pure white mushrooms near the front door. Bro, was those the mushrooms we were using in our food? It was destroying Angel's Amanita biscorigera. Come on, Angel. Angel jumped at that. He only set out a small, nervous gasp before he followed his brother in. Up. Despite the sorry state that the house was in, the door still functioned properly. When Angel wondered, silently observing what his old house had become, Evan had closed the door behind them. A click echoed throughout the empty house, causing Angel to turn around. Huh? You still have the key to the house? Not receiving any answer, Angel slowly asked, Why did you lock the door, Evan? We need to talk, Angel. Oh, he's gonna kill his brother! Oh god! Angel stared unblinkingly as he began to piece things together. Once he mostly had figured out his brother's intentions, he could only gulp as he let out a small smile. Okay, let's find a place to sit down. Angel didn't show what he was thinking, and this caused Evan to be on his guard. Simply let his younger brother roam around, searching for a good place to converse. How about the dining table? Evan followed after. Angel was dusting the table off, making it as clean as he could manage it in such a short span of time. Afterwards, the two sat down across from each other. The chairs creaked as they sat, but it looked to be stable enough to support their weight for now. The brothers examined each other. Evan knew Angel was waiting for him to say something, so he started. I'll get to the point. Angel nodded. Bert's death was your doing, wasn't it? What makes you say so? When we talked in the car, I brought up that food might be the reason for Bert's death. I was never specified that it was the stuff we ate during Halloween, yet you immediately assumed it was that. Angel only blinked. Oh, I see. But the Halloween dinner was for the first thing that popped into my mind. Dude, you're the yandere. Oh god. Oh god, are you yandere? There is nothing more to it. Okay. This game said it had incest. My theory right now is that if we were going into the really messed up stuff, Angel wanted to kill us because he wanted to be with his brother. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking this game is gonna turn out. Of course. But that was just what nailed the coffin for me. Before that, it's painfully obvious that you've been acting really weird these past few months. How so? I know that you sometimes act pretty pettily and spitefully whenever I get myself a partner, but with Bird, you've been very aggressive. Okay? Does that immediately rule out the fact that Bird could die an accidental death? No. Then what are you getting at? Evan only sighed as he leaned forward. I was saying that you're getting bolder in your hatred against me. You weren't being subtle at all. Angel stared, his jaw slacked. You think I wouldn't notice? You were always hiding behind me whenever something happened, but I've caught you staring at me with contempt numerous times before. Oh. Evan took notice of Angel's shift in expression, a scowl, one brief unbefitting of Angel's soft features. It was a normal sight, but Evan only regarded it as if he was used to it, seeing that look. Yeah, that look. Angel only sighed before he stared at the table in front of him, diverting his gaze from his older twin brother. I don't hate you, though. Far from it. Oh god, no! No! No, don't tell me it's real! Oh god. Evidence and action says otherwise, Angel. Let's say that I do, then. Wouldn't I try to kill you rather than Bert? Here's what I think. You're in love with Bert, so you tried getting close to her. But I was in your way. So you tried to poison me, so you accidentally gave the plate to Bert instead. In that case, it makes perfect sense that why you're so panicked, insisting over and over to call for authorities. You feel guilty. Huh? So, am I right? Honestly, that's so baseless, I'm speechless. Aren't you supposed to be the smarter one between us? I mean, if you're going to accuse me of something so grave, at least give me some concrete evidence or something. Sorry, I need to act quick before you could take the upper hand. Angel let out a long sigh. But, despite it being so groundless, you're somewhat correct. Oh god. Evan's eyes widened at Angel's sudden admission of guilt. You're right. That they killed Bert, but you have the motive wrong. Ow! Sorry, Evan. Better luck next time. I'd prefer it if there's no next time. Why did you do it? Slow down. Let me correct you first. I didn't target the wrong person. I wanted to kill Bert, and I did just that. Do you really think I'm so clumsy that I made a mistake for something that crucial? Angel let out a soft chuckle and carried slightly bitterness to it. Well, it just goes to show that how much you've always looked down on me. But I made the same mistake and underestimated you. I I never expected you to keep your calm all this time and bring me to this old place. Thought you could have been panicking, broke down, or something. You'd call the authorities, you'd mourn the death of your beloved, and I'd most likely be found out of poisoning afterwards. Hearing this, Evan raised an eyebrow. He wanted to ask him something, but Angel seemed to be aware of it already, as he added, honestly, if I were to be caught, I would immediately plead guilty. Whatever my sentence would be, I'd accept it and never elaborate on why I did it. Why, you may ask, your girlfriend died. I killed her, and you never found out why. Wouldn't you want closure? Would your mind handle all the stress? I guess I wanted to see how you would react. Evan only left his mouth open, speechless. Instead, you brought me here to interrogate me. Or was that really why you did that, brother? I think there's something else. Deep down, you feel guilty, don't you? Whatever Evan wanted to say, it was stuck and left unsaid, almost like a piece of fish bone that hooked itself on the flesh of his throat. This big reaction that Evan caused Angel to smile knowingly. You feel that you've wronged me in some way, that I hate you because of you. And thanks to that hate, I killed Bert. You feel responsible for your death, right? Maybe if you've never met Bert, never confessed to her, or maybe if you could just be a brother, none of this could have happened. Is that why you wanted to talk to me first? To gain understanding? Or maybe you wanted to help me to make up for it? Evan's unusual hesitation was all the confirmation Angel needed. Ah, so it was that. You still look so kind after all, Evan. That's why I love you. No! Evan froze. He slowly tilted his head upwards to look at his younger half. A pair of pale eyes met each other's gaze. Angel was covering half of his reddening face. Oh no. I was right, wasn't I? Oh god. It was as if he was a flustered high school girl experiencing her first love. Oh, I said it. That's so embarrassing. What do you mean? Like I said, I don't hate you, Evan. In fact, I love you. Oh no! I really love it. I think this is the most, like, unhinged, or like, at least, like, darkest Sylvan game I played. Well, not dark, I mean messed up. They're the same anyway. Oh, love as in... how do I explain it? I don't know when it started. All I know is that you're the only one for me ever since you started defending me from Dad. I don't think I've ever even been alive if it weren't for you. You'll hate me for this, but whenever I saw you all bruised up, my heart always skipped a beat. You were so quiet and gentle, but the more you stood up for me, the more you became this cold person. I love that I have that effect on you, to know that I could become a big reason why you are the way you are now. What the? Angel stood up from his seat. I love you, how dependable you are. Angel took a step forward, approaching Evan. I love how kind you are. I love how much you're willing to sacrifice yourself to me. I love seeing your reaction whenever you think you've done something wrong. I love seeing red and blue bruises adorning your skin. I love you, Evan. Evan was stunned into silence at his brother's lengthy proclamation of love. Hold on. Okay. He felt every inch of his body go numb from his intensity. As Angel got increasingly closer, Evan slowly reached out into the inside of his coat. Dude, is he gonna pull out, like, a weapon? Evan soon regretted his decision, though, as Angel immediately rushed over upon seeing it. Drowning in his own panic, Evan also stood up and was about to run off. Evan, however, tripped on one of the table's legs. Bro, what? It gave Angela a window of opportunity to catch and hold on to him, but she quickly acted on. Even though with Evan on the ground, Angel sat on his back, focusing his entire body weight down as he forcefully reached inside of Evan's coat. What's that, Evan? Angel asked as he pulled something out of Evan's coat. A hammer. What are you planning to do with this thing? To hurt me? Gritting his teeth, Evan struggled. Yeah, because clearly I don't feel safe around you. Get off of me, Angel! Oh. Angel only stared at the back of his brother as he made up a decision in his head. Oh. Uh-oh. He decided to swing the hammer down at Evan's skull, causing him to grunt. Scarlet red blood began to stain Evan's colorless hair. A grin slowly crept on Angel's face. The sight of it made Angel's heart race. His breathing heavy and his head light. The euphoria he felt upon seeing his own flesh and blood injured because of him was unbearable. He craved more for it, and so he swung down once again. And again and again. It was when Evan fell unconscious that Angel snapped out of it. Oh. 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 When Evan awoke, he found himself lying on the ground of a familiar basement with a stinging headache. It was the basement of their old house. Dark, dingy, and musty. Evan remembered vividly that this was the room that his parents used to trap them when they misbehaved. Not only that, he also saw the suitcase where his dead girlfriend was in, standing not too far from where he was. Everything about it choked Evan up. He wanted to leave now. He tried to get up, battling this intense pain on the back of his head. However, he very soon found out that both his hands were handcuffed. When he moved his legs, one of them were cuffed to one of the pipes that was stuck to the wall. No fucking way. Oh god. I know there's two endings to this game, so I wonder how that's going to be defined. Oh, I just moved the chat up. No. The realization that his younger brother kidnapped him was starting to dawn on him. It was suffocating. His eyes felt like it was about to burn as tears and threatened to leave his eye sockets. What did he do to deserve this? He wanted to give Angel a chance to explain himself. He wanted to give the brother he shared his sufferings with the benefit of the doubt. He gave everything to Angel, and he trampled it all on the ground, stomping and ripping it into shreds while he was at it. Perhaps this was his punishment for treating Bert horribly after her death, he thought, for choosing to listen to Angel first before his girlfriend. The guilt weighed heavily on him, but he didn't have time to dwell on it as he heard a sound that made him nearly jump. Evan rubbed his eyes quickly before looking at the door. He saw Angel walking in with a bottle of water in his hand. As soon as Angel saw his elder brother, a gentle, almost ironically angelic smile crept on Angel's face. Evan, you're awake. You were unconscious for a while. I even had some time to cuff you and tend to your wounds. Evan only lowered his head, not giving any response to Angel whatsoever. This made Angel tilt his head. When he got closer to Evan, he suddenly felt something wet splashed on his cheek. It turned out that Evan just spat on him. Oh, get me out of here. Angel only rubbed his cheek, still with that oh-so-gentle smile of his. I'm surprised you're still fine after all that. You never failed to impress me with your strength. I said, get me out of here, Angel. Or what? Or what? Or what? Or what? You're insane, Angel. What do you mean, or what? Give me... Oh god. Evan's historical howling was abruptly stopped when Angel seized Evan by the jaw. He dug his nail into his skin, inciting a groan out of Evan. Quiet down for me, will you? Tisk. You'll stay here for as long as you can, until either you die or I get captured. Do you understand? Evan could only growl at Angel before he bit down on Angel's hand as hard as he could. He even managed to puncture the skin. This art also looks really good. Angel gasped and immediately pulled away, looking back and forth between his bleeding and wound and at Evan. This reaction, coupled with the searing taste of iron in his mouth, made Evan scoff triumphantly. Serves you right, you fucking lunatic. Evan, you're so adorable. I think I'm falling for you all over again. Falling in love. The moment Evan heard those words again, it was as if his insides turned upside down. However, no matter how unpleasant he felt, he didn't want to quiet down and bow down at Angel. That was the last thing he'd do. You're choking. How can you call those rotten feelings of yours love? What you love isn't me, it's my suffering. In other words, you hate me. Loathe me. You're not wrong, but you're not right either. Loving you so much that I despise you, or hating you so much that I adore you. It still doesn't change the fact that what I feel for you is intense. It's so intense that I can't hold it much longer. And I love that feeling, which means I love you. Perhaps not in the traditional way, but it's still love. Evan could only knit his brows in response. Unlike Angel, he was someone who didn't delve much into his emotions. Therefore, Angel's ramblings about how he felt had only managed to confuse him. He didn't get his brother. He couldn't understand him one bit. He didn't want to be able to understand him. You're not making any sense, Angel. Angel, on the other hand, had expected his response from Evan. He only smiled with tranquility and understanding. Then, I'll just make you understand during our time together. As they talked, both Evan and Angel heard a gurgling noise coming from the older twin's stomach. Angel only flashed a smile at that before he stood up. But that time isn't now, it seems. I'll go get some breakfast. Like hell you're going to do that. Hey, come back! As if deaf to his brother's pleading, Angel walked back to the door. The last thing Evan saw was Angel's beaming smile as he closed the door. Sit tight and wait for me, okay? Are you kidding me? Angel! Angel! The door closed shut, engulfing Evan's world in the darkness once again. Oh! Okay, so that was one ending. Oh, damn. I didn't think we were gonna die in the beginning. I thought we were gonna be a playable character, but I guess not. We were just there as an intro. Okay. So this has changed. I was thinking Angel was related to Angel. And then I like how the detail of E-N-G-E-L is like red. Yeah. Rotten Angel. So that's just relating to Angel instead. So how do I get the other ending? I'm wondering. I'm gonna try seeing if we actually were like... I did try being, like, I guess, a good girlfriend in this route. Maybe let's see if we were, like, everything was, like, pretty bad with our relationship. I wonder what would happen. Also, starting with health problems. And not talked to him about this. Evan recalled that you never told anything. He didn't know whether it was because you two never had the time to sit down about it, or whether you just didn't want to discuss it with Evan. You took your reasons with you to the grave, and there was no more chance for you to converse. The thought left a bitter taste in Evan's mouth, deepening his frown. I don't know. She never told me. I see. And the only way we can know is by talking to her family or have her cause of death be certified. That or it was related to food. B. Bittersweet, you initially loved. Oh wait, no, I was tragic last time. Actually, okay, I changed my mind. Let's be like, okay, a fully good girlfriend for him. He was like, okay, load. Sure you... Yeah, don't mind. You're healthy. Happy, you truly loved Evan's space. I've always thought that she was really nice. I remember the first time you introduced... Okay. How happy you look to look. Your smile was praised. Yeah, that's something you've seen. Just regret that I haven't had much time to spend with her, and that's just me. I can't imagine how you must be feeling. I mean, you two were so close, but were so nice towards you, and you really softened up ever since you met her. Angel's voice slowly went quieter. He was muttering when he saw you say these next few words. Eek. Eek. I'm almost jealous If I have to be honest. Oh, you were jealous of her! You were jealous of me! At that time, Evan raised an eyebrow, though he didn't seem to be surprised. Jealous, huh? I was just saying, it's impressive that Birth was able to do that. She must have been really special to you. When Angel took a brief look at Evan, he saw his brother looking as if he'd murder him on the spot if he hadn't said another word. Alarmed by this, Angel decided to end his musings early. My point is, I just wanted to say that you can talk to me about it, that's all. I know Bird meant a lot to you, so you know. What? Okay. I'm gonna change. Okay, so it's the same thing. What if we were a terrible girlfriend? When he recalled the sight he saw back then, he could feel his insides crawling at each other and threatening to leave its vessel. His hands trembled. His breathing quickened and his face became so warm that he couldn't take it anymore. Evan pulled over to take a break to calm himself. Angel noticed this and didn't say anything so as not to disturb Evan. You indeed cheated on Evan with his brother Angel. The truth was that he approached you and you went along with it. As a boyfriend, you noticed that Evan was bad at showing his love towards others. He went along with most of that what you wanted, but it wasn't enough for you. You wanted him to treat you like you were special, like you were his one and only. Or at least you wanted him to act more lovey-dovey so that you knew for sure that he loved you. Evan was horrendous at all of it. Thus, when his twin decided to shower you with all the loves you oh so craved, you caved in. A kiss, a hug, loving intercourse, Angel would give it to you without any ounce of hesitation, and you loved it. It was a secret you only known to you and Angel. However, it seemed that you two weren't being as secretive as you two initially thought. Knowing this, Angel could only lower his head, his expression shrouded by the midnight shadow. Oh. Uh-oh. Let me do something about that. Okay. Oh, it's still showing. Okay. Oh! Okay, good. Ugh. I'm wondering if my voice volume is fine. Yeah, okay. I thought I was a little bit worried if it was like too low. Okay. Evan glanced over, wanting to see his brother's face. He wanted to find any ounce of guilt from Angel. Perhaps it might make him feel better that way. And yet he couldn't see anything. For all he knew, Angel could be smiling at his brother's anguish, and the thought only frustrated Evan more. Angel, look at me. Evan briefly lost control of his emotions. He punched at the steering wheel as he yelled, "Look at me in the eye!" Finally, Angel complied. Damn, I feel bad for Evan. He raised his head slightly. Under the dimly lit car, Evan saw Angel staring him in the eye. Sadness was written all over his younger twin's face, but there was something else. Pity. Angel was looking at him pitifully. What's with that face? I'm sorry, so you admit it. Angel sighed, but he nodded. Please, Evan, hear me out. I never consented to any of it. Evan could feel his whole body go numb. He didn't even notice he had let out a question. What do you mean? Evan could see Angel hugging himself, maybe as in a way of comforting himself as he continued his Bird came up to me first. Of course, I rejected her, but she kept coming back. I know she'd have been more assertive, stand up for myself, or even just talk to you about it, but I was scared. I didn't want to ruin it for you. Like I've said, despite everything, you saw him to be the brightest when you're with her. I don't want to take that away from you. Not when you're finally happy. I know it doesn't excuse it though. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done it. A heavy sigh escaped Evan, which successfully made Angel flinch and close his eyes shut, just as he thought that Evan was going to do something, he instead felt the car beginning to move once again. Evan only stared at the never-ending road in front of him. He looked like he wanted to say something. However, he ultimately dropped the topic. Is this something I could skip? Yeah. Oh, okay. So this is different. So we had to be a terrible girlfriend. Oh my gosh. Evan responded, though not through words, instead through action. He pulled a hammer. One he had been keeping since he rummaged through his kitchen before departing. Without any warning, he swung the hammer to his brother's head. At the impact, Angel fell down to the floor, his head red. It took Angel a few seconds before the fact that his older brother just hit him had registered through his brain. What, Evan? Angel trembled, his breath quickened, all while blood began to trickle down the wound. Can move this up. There. Unfortunately for him, Evan wasn't done. Far from it. I've had it with you. What do you mean? Ever since you were little, all you can do is hide behind me, using me as your convenient mean shield. I've given you everything, and how do you repay me? Evan swung down once again. He wasn't stopping now as he said his next few words through gritted teeth. By loathing me so much, do you want to destroy me? By killing Bert? He stopped for a brief moment to catch his breath as he looked down at his bloodied and bruised younger twin. Angel was cowering on the ground, hugging himself. His face was obscured from Evan's view. Do you want to ruin me that badly, Angel? Or did I go wrong with you for you to have done all this? Angel, answer me. Evan gripped his twin's hand and forced him up, but he baffled him. Angel was smiling, finding some sort of joy from his brother's agony. All Evan could see was red from the point on. Years worth of rage and frustration that was safely bottled away burst at the very moment. Evan remembered screaming. He remembered swinging, again and again, over and over. Oh, when he gradually came to, his right arm felt numb. Sweat was sticking all over him. All he saw in front of him was porridge of meat and blood, and pieces of skull taking the place of Angel's head. Oh, you look teeth. There's teeth there. Evan could barely recognize his own brother if it weren't for the clothes he wore. Both the sight of the thing that he used to be his brother and the visceral stench emanating from it caused Evan to fall backwards, dropping his hammer for a while. His stomach lurched. It was as though his organs couldn't take it and all rushed upwards, bulging on Evan's throat. It was unbearable. Evan vomited right there and then. He practically had emptied out his insides to the point that they felt hollow, light. Afterwards, he simply stayed there. There. His dull blue eyes staring at the moldy ceiling. He has, like, gray eyes. His mind was blank. There was too much inside his head that he couldn't focus on a single thought at all. In an effort to calm himself down, he simply stayed quiet, staring. Minutes, or perhaps even an hour, passed. Evan couldn't really tell. Once he felt much calmer, he stood up. His steps were wobbly as he made his way to the door, leaving both Herbert and Angel to fester in the house. As soon as he stepped outside, Evan saw the slightest hint of a rising sun from afar. Deciding that he needed a moment, he leaned his back against the house's rotting walls. Whilst watching the sky slowly go brighter, Evan lit up his cigarette and took a drag of it. Did Angel deserve all this? Evan thought. Was he being too cruel to his own flesh and blood? What was the difference between him and his dad? When both of them used violence to solve their problems? No, wasn't he worse in that regard? To call his own brother like that? What went so wrong that all of this happened? In the end, Evan didn't have all the answers to his questions. Though, despite his complicated feelings on the matter, there was a sense of relief that he had been focusing on. Free. He was now free from Angel. The more he focused on it, everything else faded away. The guilt, the grief, the disgust. Evan tuned it all out and began heading towards his car once the clock hit exactly 6 in the morning. He didn't know where he'd be going. He didn't have any plans. One thing was for sure, though. He didn't plan on getting caught so soon. As he sat down inside his car, he took one last glance at the old house behind him. He breathed out a long, quivering sigh before he started his car. With that, he took off, leaving everything behind. Yay, we got the good ending! Better ending than the first one. That was good. I like that. I didn't think. Oh, run because the end looks like a V. Okay, I like that small detail. That's actually a pretty good detail that they put in here. Okay, my thoughts in this game. I actually liked it. I really thought, I really thought that we were gonna be like actually part of the game. Like our character was. Actually, let me quickly put this on ad, or I can. You know what? Let's just move to just chatting so you guys can look at the chat. I just want the chat to be visible. I really thought that we were gonna be like an actual main character, like a part of the game, and like actually talk with these characters and find out who the yandere was. That was my impression of what the game was gonna be like, but I guess not. I guess we were just gonna be like, oh, we were the start of the conflict of this game. Our death was the start of all of this, and I guess just the choices that you pick, you can either paint yourself as a good girlfriend or a bad girlfriend, which I actually like that detail. I think I do like that it was like a twist, like we weren't actually gonna be part of the game. It was just like the story about these twins and how messed up like the relationship is, especially with that ending for the first story. I was like, oh my gosh. I guess it made sense. I guess I was right. I feel bad for Evan. Angel, I don't really like Angel. In each route I didn't like him. That this was a pretty good game. I think from one, like, out of the Sylvan games I've played, I think this might be my second favorite. So yeah, the art style also is actually like, from like the last time I played like Sweetest Valentine and For a Murder, the art style has definitely improved a lot. So I think there were multiple people who are working at this game, but it has improved this a lot from the last time I've played their games. Pretty good. I really liked the art in this, and I really like the small details with like the front page of the game, where like whatever choice you pick, it highlights which name it spells on red to see like who was the murderer, who was the one who's kind of like who attacked first. That was a really good detail. I was a little bit confused why like Evan brought his brother to the house, but it makes sense now why he was gonna do that. He was gonna murder him. The characters, I think, besides for Evan specifically, even though I feel bad for him, I feel like he was alright. I feel like he was alright. Yeah. Didn't feel that attached, but then again, this is like a pretty quick game, so I didn't really like feel like too attached to the characters. I just felt like more of like I feel bad for Evan's situation, and also just like, damn, I guess we're dead in the beginning. Still don't like Angel. I wonder if there are people who played this game and actually like Angel. I don't like him from what I've seen from the both endings. But yeah, that was Rod and Angel. Next game is actually Silver Thread, which I've played before. I played Silver Thread too, but luckily they made an episode 3. So I'm gonna be playing that once I put it on. So I'll be right back.